Event number 3 is, it's not complicated, but I want you to understand how the weights work, okay? So, for the deadlift, you are going to use your last successful clean and jerk. That's going to be your deadlift weight. So let's say you do 500 pounds. Yeah. You do 500 pounds on your last clean and jerk. You're going to deadlift 500 pounds. Let's say you do 115 pounds. That's what you're going to use for your deadlift, 115 pounds. You're going to use the same weight. Okay? So that's that. The reps are 15, 10, and 5. Right? We're going to do deadlift and shoulder to overhead. So we discussed the deadlift weight. Now let's talk about the shoulder to overhead weight. The shoulder to overhead weight, we're going to use, the guys are going to have 3 choices, ladies are going to have 3 choices. Guys are going to use either 185, 145, or 115 pounds. 185, 145, or 115. The ladies are going to use 133, 103, or 83. Those are the choices for the ladies. Now, scoring is going to be determined by your placement on the workout. There's a 6-minute time cap. Okay? So if you complete the whole workout, then you get your total time completed. Alright? If you don't complete the workout, then you're going to get the amount of reps that you've done. Credit for that. Alright? Now, if you use 185 pounds or 133 pounds, which is the top end of the weight for the shoulder to overhead, you're going to get plus 3 points for each rep that you complete with that weight. If you use 145 or 103, you're going to get plus 2 points for each rep done with that weight. If you use 115 or 83, you're going to get plus 1 point for each rep that you do shoulder to overhead. So, what could happen is you could go with the 185, right? And then you don't finish all of your reps. You don't get all the shoulder to overhead. So you get X amount of points. Now, you could use the lighter weight and go super duper fast. Then you're not only going to get a faster time, but not only will you get a faster time, but then the balance out will be you're going to get less points for each rep that you put over your head. If that makes sense. Okay, so it'll be 2 separate scores. One score for your time and amount completed, and then the other score for the actual amount of points that you get for putting that weight up over your head. Hopefully that translates well. I'm not a really good talker sometimes. Let's talk about the standards, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do the deadlift. Sumo deadlifts are fine. I don't care. If you want to go like that, no big deal. As long as you end up with your shoulders behind the bar, arms straight. Now here's what we don't want. That's nonsense. Okay? This is a CrossFit competition, okay? But let's not make it silly. Okay? Let's not try to cut corners and do goofy stuff. Keep those arms straight. Keep that chest nice and proud. Do good reps because the weight's going to be kind of heavy. All right? So both plates have to touch the ground. You've got to stand all the way up every time. Okay? That's the deadlift. Hopefully those standards make sense. Now, on the shoulder to overhead, this is shoulder to overhead. It's not jerks or push press or press. It's any of them. All right? So the bar's going to be on the ground when you start. Get to your shoulders. You can press it. You can push press it. Push jerk. Split jerk. Now obviously, if you catch it with a push press, right, you're going to stand all the way up. If you do a jerk, you're going to catch it like that. You've got to make sure that you stand all the way. If you do a split jerk, you've got to make sure that you bring those feet back to parallel with each other. Okay? So, 15, 10, and 5, deadlift, shoulder to overhead. That's event 3.